Welcome to another exciting episode of the series Unleashing the Alpha Within, the Alpha Male series. I'm your host, Maxwell A. Peters. I want to believe you took out time to listen to our previous episode from episode 1 through to episode 5 and 5B, where we talked so much about the characteristics of who an alpha male is, what is the word alpha, and the difference between an alpha male and a beta male. Today's podcast is going to be very short and very brief, because we're going to be talking about burning your past. Burning your past. In order to raise a new working and efficient structure on an old, inefficient, already existing structure on any piece of land, you must first demolish the old, inefficient structure. That is exactly how I'm going to begin today's podcast. Today's podcast is going to be shattering a lot of myths, pulling down a lot of holes that has deprived a lot of true, genuine alphas to function in the right capacity they're supposed to function. Little wonder, too many times, we have been dwelling and clinging to what is supposed to be dead, buried, and forgotten. One of my favorite books says, don't copy the behavior and custom of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Please underline this. I take this part again, the B part. Let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. As an alpha male, the gateway to your successes in life is directly in synchronization with the way you think. Your medulla oblongata has to be reformatted to think accurately to avail positive results. I like to call this the alpha male mindset. As an alpha, your mind is a battlefield where life battles are constantly being fought. You cannot win or achieve anything on the outside without first winning from the inside. To a beta male, he has temporal winning on the outside, but he's consistently losing on the inside. Don't be like a beta male. Be the alpha male that everything you are winning on the outside, it was first won from the inside. So many people today are prisoners of their past. Their past is like a clog, a fog hovering around them, consistently choking the present. Their past is like a shadow walking around them. Everywhere they go, they still have reflections of their past, reflecting in their present day. For a beta male, he dwells so long on the idea of who they were, the people they have helped, their past successes. So they keep dwelling on this past, and dwelling on this past deprive you from seeing clearer what the future holds. Even in relationship, a beta male still have problems. Because why? He's trying to bring in the old experience or experiences from the past relationship into the new relationship. Thereby, anything the spouse or he or she happens to do in the relationship, he begins to reflect on, my previous relationship, I saw the signs, this is what is happening, jeopardizing the newly started relationship. As an alpha male, you must learn to burn your past. If your past continue to intertwine with your present, trust me, you can't go further in life. Your past could take on various forms. You've outgrown some habits, some things you used to do before. Once you outgrow them, they are your past. Let them go. You know what they are. Those things you usually do when you were quite younger, when you weren't exposed, when you weren't enlightened. It is in your past. Those bad habits that you've not just let it go, burn it. Tell yourself you will never condescend to this point of repeating same behavior that is counterproductive. Some other past could be a mistake or mistakes. You did wrong investment and you lost some money, or you took some move that actually affected your person, or you did some things that is currently affecting you. Because it was in the past, I tell you, it is time to let it go. In relationship, people suffer so much because they try to cling to the little beacon of hope attached in a very toxic, unhealthy relationship. Because why? They are so scared to let go. I tell you, people like that need to be detached from your life. I'll give a practical example. In a film sequence, not every actor that started the film usually ends the film. Some of them character or some of them role just fizzle out in the process without even you noticing. Which means it is not everybody who started the journey of life with you will automatically end it with you. It is time for you to let go of bad friends that are actually influencing you to do the wrong things, that are constantly making you feel less than who you're supposed to be. I tell you to, family, there are some family union you need to detach yourself from. Look at Daniel. The Holy Book says, I, Daniel, saw a vision that the men that were with me couldn't see. And there came a great storm that separated me for the revelation of the vision. I tell you something, folks. Even Abraham in the Holy Books, when God called him to leave his father's house to a land that he was going to show him, he was 75 years. He was 75 years. And it took him another 25 years before the promises of God was manifested in his life. Which means there are some level of blessing, or there are some level of exposure, there's some level of dominance as an alpha you cannot possess if you stay clinged to some people. When Abraham was 75, God told him to leave his father's house to a land that he will show him. But the manifestation of God's promises never unfolded until Abraham was 100 years old. Which means you are not permitted to be extremely 100% successful if you are clustered around with your past. It is time for you to let go of those attitudes that is constantly pulling you back, that is subjecting you into the pain, the anguish, the agony of your past. I tell you something, folks, write those things down and burn them. When you burn them, you set yourself free for greater success in life. To proceed as an alpha, you must always be ready to move ahead, move on. To progress in life as an alpha male, you must always, in the snap of your finger, be ready to move on, to always move ahead. Be willing and ready to take a walk on anyone and anything, no matter how good it is. If you are not quick to take a walk on something that is detrimental to what you're trying to accomplish in life, it will stick towards your mindset. And once your mind is polluted, it begins to affect your results. I tell you, dear alphas, be quick to put an end to a toxic relationship. No matter what you think you're benefiting. As an alpha male, I remember I said you expand under stress. When you're going through stress, that is when you have the capacity to expand. I like to use the word I call the no-return strategy. The no-return strategy is like you being in a boat. You set up a journey from the beginning of the waters, the river, to the end of the river. Once you got to the end of the river, you came down from your boat, you burnt the boat, which means no going back. It's only going forward. That is what your past should look like. Learn to let your past go. Burn your past. There are people in your life that you are clinging on, hoping they were going to favor you. Trust me, they are only limiting the potentials you possess. By the time you let those people go, you will see creative ideas as an alpha will begin to flood your mind. As an alpha, you must disconnect yourself from your past by getting to the point where making reference to them never hurts you again. Learn your lesson from your past mistake and move on. Also, promise yourself never ever to repeat such mistake again. Forget about your past. Forgive yourself and begin a new life right now. Start afresh. The reason why we cannot let go of something or someone is because deep down we still have hope it's going to work. That's why people are sexually abused, physically abused in relationship, because deep down they feel they still have hope that it will work. You've seen the red flags, you've seen the red signs in relationship, in business, yet you believe it's still going to work. You have to be logical. As an alpha male, you have to be prudent. Stop staying close to people that are toxic. They are now in your past, because this lifestyle you possess is different from every other. The most difficult aspect of moving on is accepting that the other person already did. Trust me, 70% of the people in your life are just there, but they are not there. So you must understand that they have moved on. So you too learn to move on. Forget about the past. It doesn't exist except in your memory. Drop it and stop worrying about how you're going to get through tomorrow. As an alpha male, you take it one step at a time. As an alpha male, your past failure is an experience gain. Dwelling on your past creates self-doubt of yourself as an alpha. Your mind will not be fine-tuned if you dwell in your past. You were created to create. You can't be struggling to fit in when you were created to stand out. As an alpha, you must sustain the theory I call the theory of sustenance. Or you must possess the theory I call the theory of sustenance, sustaining a positive mental attitude through the assumption of a negative result, which means you should always hope for the best and expect the worst so that you would not be mentally devastated. Make peace with whatever happens before now in your life. Learn your lesson from it and move on. As an alpha, your direction is very important than speed, because a lot of people, a lot of beta are going very fast, but they are not going anywhere. Trust me, the first step to change is becoming aware of your mistakes, learning from them, letting them go, and letting those hurtful memories go. It is never too late to be what you might have been. Life is 10% of what happens to us and 90% of what we react to it. I tell you something, everything that has been hindering you from functioning in the true light of an alpha male is in the past. Knowing what you know now, being enlightened the way you are right now, you don't need to stay clinged to your past. Your past affects who you are. Your past makes you dependent on things that are not supposed to. As an alpha male, you are super creative. Your mind is a battleground, winning from the inside to enable you win from the outside. I challenge you today, my dear alphas. Anything that is a past in your life, let it go. Possess the strong willingness to strive. Strive to succeed. Strive to success. Keep winning. My name is Maxwell Peters. I'm your host. Stay well and enjoy the rest of your day.